Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Two Gamer Dads podcast, episode 21, which I'm calling the one with the Steam Deck. As usual, I'm Ian, and with me is Marv. Hi, Marv.
Hello. Where's my
Marv
Steam
is
Deck?
the lucky one with the Steam Deck. Today, we're also joined with another guest, a new guest that we haven't had before. But he's going to come on a little bit later, and we'll also explain the reasons why he's coming on. It's okay. He will explain the reasons why he's coming on later. But he'll pop by a bit later. So thank you for showing up. And yeah, so last week we had a not last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, episode 20. We had a very special episode where we kind of brought in two of our good friends to talk about a very contentious topic about Singaporean food. And if you guys haven't watched that, you need to go back. If not, just to know about Lam's choice of his top Singapore food, which he chose Chi Chong Fan. And we have forever labeled this episode, thanks to Jamie, the Chi Chong Fan episode. So if you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch that. Mal, how have you been doing this past, 2 weeks since we last talked?
Yeah, it's okay. Just had my reservist last week. So we had live range. Um
You got money?
yeah. So my last ever live range, because every Singaporean reservist man has 2 times, right? You're allowed to go for marksman 2 times. Or range
I
two
think so.
times. Yeah, so that was my second time lah. Kind of sad that I'll never get to fire a real gun again. I mean, fingers crossed, I don't ever want to fire a real gun for anything else other than reservist training lah.
To
But
earn money, then to earn money,
yeah,
basically.
so funny story. You know, did they break you into details, right? So for people who have never gone to NS or not Singaporeans, what happens is that the whole company, basically the entire like unit, will go for the shoot, and then they break you down into units. So into details. So each detail is 6 people, and then how it works is that there are 6 lanes, and you're assigned to a lane. You have 30 shots. So 15 of them will be in daytime, and then 15 of them will be in like nighttime lah. So they just turn off all the lights, simulated night. And what happens is that the first 5 shots of each half, you shoot your own target, which is right in front of you, the lane, 100 meters lane. And then for the next 10 shots, the targets can appear in random lanes, and your entire detail has to shoot all of them down. So if you are lane 1, there's a chance that your target, which is target 1, may appear in lane like 2, all the way at lane 2, or even lane 3. So you have to make sure you shoot the correct target. So generally they put the people who are lousier shooters at the sides. Yeah, cause you didn't on your push to talk, by the way. Cause you just
Yeah,
shoot
I
the
know, I know.
sides, right? And they put the better ones in the middle, right in the middle. So guess who was in the middle? Me. I was like smack. I was shooter number 3, lane 3. And then there was an officer next to me who was lane 4. Then I was like thinking, wow, I didn't play like thousands of hours of Destiny not to get marksman. So what happens is that because it's detail wide. So even if you do very well and somebody in your detail is a bobo shooter, it can cause the entire like average score to be pulled down. So to get a marksman, you need to hit 80% of your shots. Yeah, so unfortunately, right, on the first shoot, well, one of my officers in my detail, the gun's zeroing scope was like super off. He missed like half of his shots. And it was so bad because what happens is that, when you shoot, then there'll be a technician behind you who will tell you like you're a bit too off to the left or a bit off to the right. The technician was telling him, right, that the sensor couldn't even detect where his shot was landing. That was how bad it was. So
Yeah,
we had to
not even
reshoot.
firing on it, yeah.
We had to reshoot. So when we did the reshoot, right, something super unfortunate happened to me. So like when you're aiming down with your eye on the scope, right? So when I fired my very first shot, there was a puff of smoke that came out from the part where the cartridge gets ejected, and it went into my eye. And then my eye started watering like siao, like it was watering so badly. So the next like 4 shots, right, I was just like frantically rubbing my eye and like just squeezing off like aga, like just estimate where it was. But somehow I got 100%.
You guys managed to get. Wow.
I
You got
hit.
100%.
I got
Everybody
100%.
had. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Not
in my
bad.
entire detail, right, half of us 100%. Like we didn't miss a single
Nice.
shot. Yeah. So yeah, $200 in the bank. Uh,
All that destiny went
yeah, man. I was like,
to good
wow,
practice.
shoot so many guns in Destiny, better
Do,
get marksman.
do you guys need to move at all, or is it just
No, so
stationary?
for us is cause we are combat support, we are service support, right? So our combat shoot is foxhole, supporter foxhole. Yeah, no rundown lah. Thankfully,
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
one that makes people tsui, I think.
rundown
Because
was
when they
bad.
walk down and they actually yeah, because you have to move. So for those you don't know, if you're not combat support, if you're a regular combat troop, you need to like fire. I think six. It's like 6 rounds every bound,
Every bound,
and you
yeah,
have, and then not sometimes you don't move forward. So you actually have to kind of like memorize when you move forward because it's fire movement. So it's like some people cover for you in the other lanes as you shoot, and then you move as they are shooting, so they cover your movement at all times. So you have to think about not just like how where you're firing, but you have to think about like when to move, and then when you land, when you finally reach your movement, you need to like get into a prone position again and reset your whole thing. So in a sense, it's a bit hard. It's definitely a lot harder. But then I think the score is the same actually. I think you still have to score 80%.
mm. And you do
Yeah.
combat reload while you're running, right?
Yes, but actually most people don't do combat reload when they're running. They just
The end,
reach
then
the
they
end.
reload. Yeah.
Yeah, actually there's another way to game the system actually, which is is your target a falling target? That means does it fall when you hit it?
Yes.
So in I think for I don't know whether it's changed now, but the previous time I did a combat shoot, the last bound, right, the targets will actually stay up. So on the last shot, on the last target, so you can basically like empty your whole magazine on the last target.
Oh,
And it will still count as hits. So let's say
okay.
you have like 5 bullets left, 5 rounds left. You can actually just like empty it on the last target. But the time is very short.
Yep.
Like
Like
it
four
stays up the
seconds, I think.
normal time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not worth it to keep your rounds all the way to that last bound,
Yep.
even though you're much closer. I think you're 40 meters away.
Mm.
But if you save all your time, you don't have the chance to like. And then if you IA, then GG, right? IA
So
is like
so I
if your thing
yeah
jams.
I on my the first shoot lah. I missed 2 targets because of that. By the time I
Yeah.
resolved the IA and then
You did
yeah.
you guys do the rotation where you like kind of like okay, where are all the good rifles? Give me all your good rifles.
Yes. So eventually all the good rifles were placed like at one corner, then everybody's like, okay, these rifles are all damn soon. Super accurate. Use them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's usually what happens because everybody wants to score well, right? So
Yeah.
not all rifles are equal. Some will IA very often. Some are not zeroed properly. So
Kind of
eventually,
scary,
like
yeah.
maybe out of like yeah, it's kind of weird because like out of 100 rifles that you bring to the range, maybe only like 12
Yeah.
are really useful.
Like 10%
Are really
are like super good.
usable.
The rest are all
Then you just use that to fire. Then all the 84 left, you just go and clean and put it back to your
yeah.
arm squad. Yeah. All right. Cool. Good to know that you have. That's why today you can eat. Are you eating expensive? Do you tapao? Did
No,
you
I just ordered
order?
some regular Deliveroo stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my week was pretty normal. So Typhoon Nanmadol hit Japan
Mm.
this week. But okay, to be honest, it was very anticlimactic for us because um how typhoons work is that when they hit land like for the first time, it's like it's damn scary, right? Especially you live in the beach. If you live near the coast, it comes with like a huge like 100 km/h winds.
Oof.
Roofs are being torn apart. So I think as far as I know, there are 2 deaths when Typhoon Namadol hit. One was it was quite bad. One was trapped in his car, and the other was like his house fell down. His roof fell down, so he was trapped in his house.
Oh no.
So that's pretty bad in terms of that. But apart from that, there are a lot definitely a lot of building damage, structural damage, but no deaths. And then so as it travels inwards, so it literally traveled. It hit Kyushu, which is the southernmost island apart from Okinawa of Japan, where Fukuoka is, and it continues up through Honshu, which is the main island where Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto is. And if you know anything about typhoons, as they travel through land, right, they kind of lose steam, right?
Yep.
So I'm actually I'm actually in eastern Japan, northeastern Japan, Tohoku. So as it hit Tohoku, right, basically I got a nice misty shower.
So you didn't get
like
the alert lah. There was no alert for you.
no. It's funny because they cancelled school. They cancelled
Oh.
my school, not Rebecca's school, but they cancelled my school. But I understand why. It's because a lot of the students actually cycle to school. So if the typhoon does get it does. If it is bad, then cycling to school is a bit
Yeah.
dangerous.
You don't want to risk it,
I,
lah.
but I was like semi excited and semi fearful of like, oh, how is this typhoon gonna be like? Then it's like a nice misty shower. Like there are worse rains in Singapore on a normal daily day to day basis.
I'm sure.
But yeah, all right. So Typhoon Nanmadol was very uneventful, which is good. I'm not complaining, guys. I don't want it to be eventful. All right, so let's talk about some stuff that we've been watching. There has been also, we haven't done this segment in a long while because the previous episode we did a lot of different topics. But let's talk about the shows that we have been watching. So I have four. I have a lot on my list, but let's just talk about the few big ones that I think are important that we love to watch. So let's start with Marvel. And Marv, have you been watching She-Hulk?
Yes, I'm
All
caught
right.
up. I'm caught up.
So I think there are what, 6 episodes,
Six
5 episodes?
Yeah.
6 episodes so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Marv, give me your general impressions of. It's not over yet, but just give me your general impressions.
4 out of 10. Okay, next.
Really? 4 out of 10. Wow. Okay, give me a bit more detail.
Okay. Like in all seriousness, I do think it's the weakest, one of the weakest Marvel TV series so far. It's second screen stuff lah, in my opinion. Like if you're doing something else, you put it on the TV or put it on another monitor and watch it. I don't find it compelling. Every episode is filler-ish. Like even up to now, have you watched episode 6?
Yeah. No, not yet. I think it just came out, right?
Yes. So even up to episode 6, which I just watched it just now, I don't feel that there is any gravitas.
Bust. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Every episode is just like, oh, she's looking for a date, or somebody suit her.
Yeah.
Oh, she needs new clothes. Yeah. I guess it's okay to have a series like that, or a couple of series like that. Not every series needs like, a cosmic villain or something, but I just feel like there's no urgency, there's no drive behind her character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So is that your rating for it? 4 out of 10?
Yeah, I mean it's 4 to 5 out of 10. It's watchable, but even if you don't watch it, like for me, even if I missed it, I don't think I lost anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with most of your points. The only thing I disagree with is I actually like the show. I think I give it a 7 because firstly it's really short. The episodes are incredibly short.
Yeah.
Like when you click on it, you're like, oh, it's 37 minutes long, and then you realize the first 10 minutes is a recap of the previous episode, and then the last 10 minutes is the credits. I have no idea why the credits is it's so insanely long in a Disney Plus show. Like it's ridiculous. So the show is basically 20 minutes long.
Yep.
At most 25 minutes. So the way I think about this show is like a comedy, Big Bang Theory, Friends style type of show. I think of it like the Disney trying to put this type of genre into the Marvel universe, because like Marv said, the stuff they deal with is super minor. Like she needs to find a date. Oh, she needs to get a new shirt.
Yeah.
She needs to get a new suit. So I think if you're looking for the kind of like your typical Marvel shows where there is a villain, there is a purpose to there's like, even the shows that are like, okay, so the closest show to this in terms of tone is Hawkeye, in terms of like the tone of Marvel TV series. Hawkeye doesn't take itself too seriously. It's quite a kiddie show. But even Hawkeye has like a baddie, like a villain, a goal at the end of the day.
There's
And
an
even
overarching
yeah,
goal team towards
yeah,
Hawkeye.
exactly. Or Miss Marvel,
Miss Marvel, yes.
which Marvel, which I also like, but
Yeah.
I know not many people agree. But even Miss Marvel has a theme at the end. This is not one of those shows. This is like a Big Bang Theory where every episode is kind of almost self-contained. Like you could just watch it without any prior knowledge of the previous 4 episodes, and you would still be like, okay. And I think it's pretty good for what it tries to do. And if you take it for what it is, like a Big Bang Theory kind of Modern Family kind of show, I think you will enjoy it a lot more than if you think of it like a typical Marvel TV series.
Yep.
I will say that the CGI is really bad.
Yeah, it's super bad. Whenever she's in her suit, like her business suit, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's you can tell the budget is really low because she's basically the only CGI in the whole show.
Yeah.
Right? To be fair, she is in a lot of it. Like she is. Hi, Meredith. Hello, how are
Say
you?
hi.
Say hello.
Say hello again.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay,
she's so
she's going to
adorable.
bed.
Okay, good
Say good
night.
night.
Oyasumi nasai.
Say good night.
Good night.
Love you.
So cute. We
Say
love
hi,
you too,
Nee.
Meredith.
Honey.
I also cute lah.
Oh, I forgot to kiss
Oh,
her.
you forgot to kiss her.
Mwah. Okay, good night.
I need her.
Okay, I need. Yes, I need.
我也爱你. Oh, she's so cute. So those of you on the podcast, Meredith, mom's son,
Crashed.
mom's daughter just came up, just showed up, and she's basically being put to bed. Yeah. So I think for what it is, if you take it for what it is, it's not a bad show. But in a sense, what Marv is trying to say in terms of like you can miss it is that it doesn't affect the Marvel TV's like cinematic universe in any way.
That we know of for now.
In zero way does it affect them.
As of now.
As of now, unless she shows up in a future movie or something, it's unlikely.
The thing is that the only reason why I'm watching this show is because I know someone else shows up. And you know they've teased.
Okay. Is he in episode 6, by the way?
He's not episode 6, so I'm still waiting. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So my issue is I could, like, the time spent watching this could actually be spent watching something else better. Because you know, like, time is the limited resource, right?
But it's 20 minutes, bro.
I'm already
It's
so
short.
far like into the thing, so I just watch it every like Thursday when it comes
Yeah,
out.
but it's really short. That's another thing that has it going for it, right? Even if you watch it and it's no consequence, it's like 20 minutes every day.
Yeah. So speaking of things that we could spend our time better watching, have you finished Cyberpunk?
No, I'm on episode 5. I'm taking it really slow. I'm watching like
Okay. I finished
an
it.
episode a day.
I finished it.
And
Yeah.
what do you think about it?
I think it's like, if you were to compare it with other animation, of course, I prefer it over Dota,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but it's not as good as Arcane for sure.
I mean, that's also for sure.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk, like Edge Runners to me, is like the Mad Max of recent Netflix animations. It's like just in your face, there's explosions everywhere. There's always like action going on. Yeah. I would say it's pretty good. And for somebody who didn't play the game, I have no knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
It still
Yep.
like captivated me to the point that I wanted to Google and find out a bit more about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this? Okay, so the animation is obviously very good. I think it is obviously. I mean, we cannot compare it to Arcane in that sense. If Arcane is the top tier standard of what animations look like, it's definitely a tier below. Although I think it's the next best. I think the art style is quite interesting. It's very bright, very vibrant.
Yep.
What do you think of the story that they created?
Okay, the story itself is quite simple lah. Like a kid who comes across something that makes him special, right? The thing that makes him special, and he's able to use it, and then he joins a crew, and he's able to do more stuff because he has that special thing. So it's not a very it's quite tropey lah, right? Yeah, but I enjoy it not because of the story though. Like the story is not the main draw for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
like for me,
The world and the lore.
the
and-
world, the animation, and
Yep,
the action
okay.
are what stand out for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that it's as if I'm watching an extended series of something from Love, Death and Robots.
Okay. Which
Yeah.
is also a great animation.
Which is also
probably
a
one of the
great
best.
series, yeah.
Probably one of the best ones actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Okay. As someone who has finished Cyberpunk twice, and actually I'm currently replaying it now because of Edge Runners. I will say that your enjoyment of the show is definitely heightened if you've played the game, because a lot of things that they talk about, issues like cyber psychosis, about how the implants work. Like so basically this main character, his name is David. He gains an implant called the Sedivistan, which is like a military implant, which lets him go to bullet time lah, basically slow mo lah.
Yep.
And this is actually a thing in the game. The Sedivistan is actually an actual implant you can get in the game, which also lets you have the same ability. So in a sense, there are some YouTube videos which you can see where people have built like the David build, the Edge Runners build.
Edge Runners build, yeah.
Yeah, where they try to do the same thing. So and a lot of the things that happens in the show, which if you like the lore, is actually directly tied to the way the game is also there's also functions and builds. Like cyber psychosis is a thing where the more implants you put in your body, the more it scrambles with your brain and you go crazy. Cyber psychosis. So that's also in the game, and it is a thing that a lot of people deal with in the game as well, which is true in the anime. So I think if you play the game, you'll enjoy it a lot more. And like Marv said, like it kind of like makes him want to play the game. And
Yeah.
on that note, I think Cyberpunk just received a new 1.6 update, and it's actually a very playable game now. To be honest, it was always playable on the PC. And on
I heard they fixed a
next-gen
lot of
consoles.
bugs and stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the game, the world feels a lot more livable. I would say it doesn't live up to its potential because obviously they're not going to change the storyline and a lot of the different things that I feel are its flaws. But in terms of like the bugs and like they finally added transmog, by the way. That was a big issue previously where you look stupid because the gear you can equip, the best gear you can equip, looks incredibly idiotic on you. Like you look stupid, like basically. So now you can transform yourself, which I know seems stupid in a first-person shooter, but it makes a difference when you open your character screen
Yep,
and
yep.
you're wearing like a pink hat,
For sure.
and you're this level 50 street cred, level 50 badass wearing a pink hat and like some
Yeah.
purple sweater. It's just ugly.
Don't look like a
Um,
Barrett.
Yeah. So go and
It's
if
on
you haven't
discount now,
watched.
actually.
Yeah, I think they tried to tie it in the sense that because it's quite now that it's been out for almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
So I personally think it's a great game. It's not up to the hype that it produced because it was supposed to be the next Witcher 3,
Witcher,
the
yeah.
next RPG killer. It's a great RPG. It is not on the same level as The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So a movie that I recently just watched, which I know I say recently, but when was it released? When was Top Gun released?
I don't know. A
Like-
long time ago.
June?
It says. Hold on. Google says.
I think it's June. It came out around the time I left, so
2022.
May or June.
May 27 May. 27
Yeah,
May.
okay, so May, and I just watched it recently with Marianne, and
I also watched it.
did you
recently.
so you also didn't watch it in the movies?
No, I watched it like last month, I think.
Oh, awesome! So we have the same experience. Okay, so what do you think of? Did you watch the original Top Gun?
No, I didn't. So I've
Oh wow,
never
okay,
watched the
I watched it,
original
and it's a very old show, by the way. The
Like-
original Top Gun is
What,
our age,
1990s?
basically.
Is it 1990s?
No, I think it's closer to our age, like my age.
Yes. Wow. Yes, what do you want? I need. Okay, I need.
Oh, okay, it's a 1986 film, bro.
Oh my goodness, it's older than me.
Exactly, 1986. Hello, you're back. Looks like you're not sleeping. Woya hai ni. 사랑해요.
Say good night.
Good night. Good night.
Okay, go to sleep. Okay, good night.
Oh yeah, you're so cute lah. Yeah, I will talk about kids later, but this age is quite fun.
Wow, that means Tom Cruise looks the same.
Yeah, but that's his curse and his boon. It looks the same.
Oh, 1986.
Yeah,
My goodness.
but so I'll give my reviews. I think it's I mean, to be honest, the first Top Gun film and this film is the same. It's a feel-good story. They set up very high stakes in the show, but it's one of those shows where the stakes, are imaginary and fake. It sounds bad, but it's the kind of show where nobody will die. It's like a Disney show. So, in a sense, if you like unpredictability in your shows, you like shows that like a Christopher Nolan show where you don't really know where the story is going, and the director kind of like messes with your mind a little bit. It's not that kind of show. You will hate it. But if you go in with like oh, this is a Disney show, and you want to feel good about, wow, the power of friendship, and it basically for okay, if you ever do watch the original 1986 film, it follows almost the exact same like story arc and trope where, like, the guy who's an ass becomes a good guy at the end, and they all face this bad guy, imaginary bad guy, by the way. This bad guy is like a building that they need to destroy. You don't actually ever see the bad guy's face.
Yeah.
They're all in fighter jets and masks. It's all imaginary. It's all about the main characters.
I actually thought somebody would die. Because in the show, the what's his name? Goose dies, right? Like they say Goose dies from the original show.
His original wingman. But okay,
Yeah.
the Goose dies in the original show like freaking early.
Yeah, so I thought somebody would die because, I mean, spoilers lah. So eventually nobody dies, right? I will say though that I really enjoyed it for what it was worth,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, if a Star Wars Rogue Squadron as
Don't go there, bro. Don't get your hopes
movie
up.
is as good as that, I'll be like, I'll be happy.
They are
considering
making a Rogue Squadron movie, right?
Okay, so have you heard the Rogue Squadron has been delayed indefinitely? They lost
yeah.
they lost the director, I think. Yeah, so
Wasn't it this girl? Wasn't it a female director?
Yeah, it was the Wonder Woman 84 director.
Okay. Anyway, if
Which
84 is any,
Yeah,
if any,
might be a blessing in
indication,
disguise.
yeah, I didn't want her to make another movie. All right.
Yeah.
So that's Top Gun. If you haven't watched it, I mean, so far everybody I know has watched it. It's it's a show that it's very inoffensive. That's what I would say. Anybody can watch it. Just don't go in expecting a very deep movie.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, and then we're gonna go through the next three shows pretty fast because they're not completed yet, and most of them are still like in the first half of their episodic arc. So let's go really quickly. Just give me your 2 sentence general impression of the show, whether you recommend or don't recommend. Let's start with the first one that came out, which is House of the Dragon. I haven't watched this, so Muff, go ahead. Give me your first impressions and
Highly recommended. Like, to me, it's a 8 or 9 over 10 at the moment. I think there's been like 6 episodes. Quick review this is what Game of Thrones should have been.
Okay, so let me ask you: are you comparing this to season 8 or season 1?
No, I'm comparing it to like the entire series of Game of Thrones. This is the quality that you expect from the first half of the Game of Thrones season.
Okay.
So if you are a Game of Thrones fan who has been disappointed, like, go watch this one. Yeah, but I mean, caveat is like we don't know whether we'll be disappointed at the end, so
yeah.
it might just
But I mean,
at
least the first 6 episodes have been out. 6, 5,
yes,
6.
The first 6 has been out,
and there are
Correct.
8 right episodes in total, if I'm not wrong.
8 or 10, I can't remember.
I remember between ROP and House of the Dragon, there's 8 and it's 8 and 10. So I just don't know which one is which. Anyway, when Marv, you can search for that. We'll talk about the next one, which is the Lord of the Rings of Power series. So I'll say first, there are 4 episodes out so far, 4 or 5, I can't remember, but it is
5, right?
5.
Both have 5.
Yeah,
Both have 5.
both have 5. So I really like Rings of Power. I would give it an 8 as well. I think there are some. I think what hampers it is pacing issues. Some parts are really slow. If you watch the show, I don't want to spoil it, but there are some parts where it centers on a certain character, on a certain type of character, and it just sucks all the air out of the show. You're like, come on, man, let me get. Oh, hi, Jared. Okay, while Jared connects and we hear his beautiful voice, we'll continue on this first.
Yep.
So yeah, I think most of our friends will agree. When it centers around a certain few characters, it's very slow. But some of the characters they do focus on are the storyline is relatively interesting. Obviously, I am not a Lord of the Rings super fan, so I do not know like fully the lore. And I know that they are going pretty loose and fast with the lore. They change a lot of characters, but I would say if you go in without this preconceived, like this knowledge of what characters should be, it's very watchable. It's very interesting, and you're excited to watch the next episode, which is more than I can say for most shows. Yep. Muff?
It's a 6 out of 10 for me at the moment. As somebody who has some knowledge of the law, somebody who has read up a bit, it's annoying lah. Every episode I get annoyed. Especially, I give you an example when you see the Numenors and then they are like just regular humans, but if you follow the law, they are like super tall, like 2 meters plus, super smart, strong, faster than average human, and then one regular human beats up like 4 of them.
Is he a regular human though? Who knows?
Well, he's a king, so but still, he's still a human. Yeah, I mean that's just some of the minor things lah. Yeah.
And Galadriel. That's the
Yeah.
biggest.
Galadriel, yeah. I do look forward to watching it every week, even though, I get annoyed. But I think I look forward to watching it more than I do She-Hulk. Yep. So, yeah, I'll definitely continue watching it. But it's not a Wheel of Time for me. I think, as compared to you guys.
Oh, it is definitely not Wheel of Time for me.
Yeah.
I would scream that it was Wheel of Time. But that's because I love the Wheel of Time. Okay, and the last one is Andor. So I'll be honest with this. I have not watched all 3 episodes. I've only watched episode 1 with
Okay.
Marianne.
How do you find
And
it?
I would say, and you've watched all 3, right?
Yes,
Marv?
I watched all 3.
So I will say that episode 1 has not been great for me. I think it probably picks up because everybody has been raving about it. But episode 1 personally itself has not been great. Although I will say the writing is a step up over
Book of Boba Fett.
over Boba Fett and Kenobi. Like you can just tell the quality of the way they write is a bit more mature. The stuff that they say, like it makes logical sense. Like sometimes Kenobi you watch, you're like, what is he doing? What is he saying? Nobody in their right mind would say this logically, right? It's not
Yep.
realistic. But this is more realistic in terms of the way they interpret characters. Like everybody is kind of like kind of out for themselves. There's no altruism in this show yet. I think it will come out later on. But so far, I would say the writing step up, but it hasn't grabbed me because there's been a lot of positive reviews. Maybe it comes up in the later 2 episodes. That so much so that I'm like, oh, okay, it's okay. I'm not excited to watch more yet. So, Marv, what do you think?
Okay, I will frame it by saying that before I watched it, I watched a spoiler-free review. And Angry Joe, he gave it a 9 out of 10. So I kind of regret watching the spoiler-free review first because it raised my expectations to maybe an unrealistic level. Instead, I quote like something like, Endor does for the rebellion what Mandalorian did for like bounty hunters, something like that. So I was expecting a lot from the first 3 episodes, and I would say that it wasn't a 9 out of 10 for me lah. It was maybe a 7 out of 10. So it's definitely darker, grittier. Even sometimes I kind of like forgot that it's a Star Wars show. Yeah, it's you don't even see like, I don't even think you see stormtroopers. There's no Jedi, there's no lightsabers. It could almost be a regular war movie or war TV series.
A cyberpunk style movie.
Yes, but set in a not so steampunk type of universe lah, right?
Yep. Okay.
I'm looking forward to watching more of it. I did enjoy the first 3 episodes.
Does it pick up from
It
the
does.
first episode?
Okay, it does. So
Okay, that's good.
I will say that it requires you to watch all 3 episodes to get a good feel of how the series is gonna be.
Yeah.
And I can see why they released the first 3 episodes at one go.
Yeah, because I would have not had a good impression after the first episode.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
just keep
So
watching.
watch it, give it a chance. Okay, cool. Okay, before we go on, we do have Jared here. Jared, are you there?
Hello?
Yo.
Hi, Jared. Yo, what's up,
Hi.
man? All right. So actually, we have some more stuff we want to talk about. But before we go through that, let me just introduce our new guest. So, hi everybody, this is Jared. Jared, say hi.
Hi, I'm Jared.
How did you? So, of course, yeah. I want you to introduce yourself, but I just want to ask first. How do you know? I don't know you that well, but you know Marv. You and Marv go pretty far back. How did you guys meet, or
Yeah.
where was your first gaming? I think you met through gaming.
No.
No, so we were in the same secondary school.
Oh,
Yeah. So from Zonghua all the way from Sec 1
That's like
until now.
yeah,
Yeah.
holy
So
shit, sec
wow.
one.
So you're
13
wow,
years old.
almost the same as Zhijian.
Yeah, but I've known Jared longer than Zijian.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah. So 13 years old until now lah. So that's like half our life.
awesome.
how long has it been?
12 years ah. Wait, no, 22 years. What am I
No
talking about?
man, more than 12
More than
years,
half our
bro.
lives.
You
Shit, what
already
am I talking
how
about?
old already?
I forgot I'm 35, not 25.
It's 12 years. How old do you think you are?
That's 22 years
22
already.
years, it's like 2/3 of our lives.
Okay, cool. How and what have you guys played? I think when did you guys always play games together?
I think the first
We
real game we played together was Diablo 2.
Diablo 2, yeah. Diablo 2.
Not Diablo 2, original Diablo 2, guys. Not resurrected.
Yeah, original Diablo 2. That was during I think was it low it was lower sec, yes.
Yeah, it was Sec 2, I think.
And then we screwed up one of our classmates' life by introducing
What? Wait,
Diablo to him.
what? Can you guys elaborate on this? What do you mean
Have I
screwed up?
not told this story before?
As in he like basically stopped studying? Is that what he did?
I thought I told this story before. So there was
No,
this
no, I've
Chinese,
never heard this story before.
this
And
China.
Is he listening to this
No,
podcast
no.
right now?
He's not. So when we were in Sec 2, right, Jared?
Yeah.
This boy came over from China. He's 1 year older than us lah. His mom was a Chinese teacher in our school, so he got a place in our class. But he couldn't speak English. Like his English was super bad. Like we had to translate everything for him. So our form teacher assigned me as his buddy. And
Why do you make it sound like, oh my gosh, out of all the people in the world, you sound me?
yes, because instead of like coaching him on all the different subjects, we introduced him to like Diablo 2, Counter Strike, all that.
We introduced him to the underworld.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And because of that, right? So he started gaming a lot like us. And then he didn't manage to stay in express stream. He went normal, right, Jared? Was it technical?
Normal.
Normal.
Should be
yeah.
a cat, like normal cat, right?
Yeah, so
Should be
he
normal
was
cat.
pushed to normal acad because he couldn't pass his Sec 2 exams. Do I feel guilty? Yeah, a bit, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's his fault. You introduced him, you gave him the drug, but it's his choice to drink, to eat the drug.
Yeah. I remember going to his house and bringing Law of Destruction to install.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! You even brought the expansion to install. Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, and Jared, what other games have you played with Marv throughout over the years?
So many, man.
Let's see. I think there was Counter Strike was one of the. After Diablo was, I think WoW was the big one.
WoW. WoW was the major one.
I mean, WoW continues throughout the years,
Yeah.
lah. Basically, let's be straight, lah.
Guess who introduced WoW to him?
I mean, it's you, right?
So I started
Introduce
WoW
WoW to-
first.
Yeah.
Then I brought WoW to one of our mutual friends' house. Then we all went over. That was during NS, right, Jared?
Yeah.
Then I showed them like my account, and then all of them went to buy, like all of them.
Wait, that WoW, that was when WoW first came out.
No, WoW
No,
came
right?
out when Jared and I were in JC. But I
Also, that
started
means this
in-
was probably
when,
BC time.
No, this was vanilla. This was
Oh,
vanilla.
vanilla. Okay.
Because I started earlier. I did like Molten Core and all that.
Oh, okay.
So then I think we were in army when TBC came out.
Yep.
And that's when we got into it. Yeah.
Yeah, then we've been gaming
Because
together.
in JC you're thinking like a subscription game you can't really afford. But in NS we started to get this allowance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can start to splurge a bit.
Actually, I think I helped them save a lot of money because every month just need to pay $20.
Yeah, you
at a
just
time.
pay for it. But do you guys
Yeah.
play on your own PC or you went to LAN cafe?
Now we play on our own PCs.
Okay lah. Okay, that's fine then.
So the
Then
funny
can
thing
pick
was that Jared, we went to Commandos, right? And then like there were a lot of people in his commando unit that played. Wow. And then they formed their own guild called Divide and Conquer, right?
Yeah.
No, Insomnia.
No, first was Insomnia.
It's called Insomnia.
Divide and conquer, siala.
Then
Really super army,
it's damn
sia.
cute. It's damn cute because like they got nights out, right? Then you all will chill and go back and raid.
Oh, that's why I cannot sleep, right? Because insomnia.
That's why called Insomnia, because we will play at night.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Then next
Alright.
day book in.
So I really go to camp without the requisite 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then so like, I mean, obviously you've probably played every WoW expansion together. What about? I know you played Destiny because I've played with you before. I think.
Yeah, Destiny 2 actually, because the first Destiny was only console.
Yeah, we only play on
Yep.
PS4.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
exclusively a PC player.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
He would benefit
Okay.
from a Steam Deck.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. Is there any other games that you played together apart from WoW and Destiny?
Now we are playing Lost Ark
Oh,
together.
Lost Ark. Okay.
Yeah. So we're in the same raid group lah, but recently he had to take a step back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For reasons which we will talk about. So, Jared, do you just want to share about like what has been happening in your life the past year?
Past year. So recently, I had a baby girl.
Oh,
Alright.
wait, Deto! Congratulations.
Yeah.
What's
name is
her?
Adeline.
Adeline. Is that with an A or an E?
An A.
Okay. Is that spelled the usual way or is there a special way to pronounce it?
No, it's
Is
a
that spelled?
traditional way. Adeline.
Okay.
There's Adeline starts with E, man.
Simple.
Yeah. Edeline.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Now mine's the simple.
Yeah, that's
most
good.
common type.
You want that nowadays. Nowadays, your common name, right, is the rare one.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So, so she's great, but she can be a handful, more than a handful sometimes. Yeah. So, think lots of sleepless nights.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think now is a week 7 for her. So hopefully she gets better. So we are trying to get her to adjust to the daytime, nighttime cycle, so that she'll sleep more at night and be more awake
Yep.
in the day.
Mm.
Yeah.
So she's 7 weeks. When's her birthday? It's July, right? She's a July baby.
No,
August.
6th August.
Early August.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Super
August.
close to National Day. Could have been a National Day baby.
No, we were trying to avoid National Day.
Like specifically trying to avoid National Day.
Yeah. So please come out soon. Within the
Well-
next hour.
When was your EDD actually? When was your EDD?
EDD was actually supposed to be
8, right?
Yeah, supposed to be 8.
Wow, so really just the day before National Day.
Yeah, but the visit that we went for the gynae, so the gynae said that okay, actually you can induce because it's quite ready. So
Oh, wow.
okay, let's just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we're just gonna skip all the way to the point 6 first. We're just gonna skip since we're talking to him
Yeah,
now
yeah, sure.
anyway. How was your delivery like, bro? I mean, not your delivery, but how was the delivery in general?
For me it was okay, but I think my wife suffered quite a bit. So the first few contractions she was okay, then subsequent she said okay, cannot take it. She need the epidural. So yeah, we got the epidural.
Yeah, don't be champion. Just take it, bro. Just take it.
Because she was afraid of the injection at first. Then once she felt the contraction, she said, okay, never mind, epidural.
It's a one-time pain versus like a
It's
9-hour
the
pain.
same exact thing that happened to my wife. She was like a bit scared of the side effects lah and all that. Then the first contractions that came were like, okay, can. If it's like that, it's okay. 1 hour later, please call him now. Please call them now.
Yeah. So we went in at midnight.
Oh wow. Okay.
Saturday. So Saturday early morning lah. So
I know why. If you go in before midnight, you need to pay an extra day, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Wait. So was this planned, or did her water bag break?
No, it was planned. So it was a planned
Oh
induction.
wow.
Induction lah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Cool.
then lasted all the way until 3 p.m.
Wow, that's long. That's what 20, what? No, 18 hours, maybe more than that, a bit more.
Because the first few hours, I think we were just waiting for the contraction and the dilation to be big enough, right? So
Yeah. It's usually the just a waiting game.
yeah, so I think it only really started happening about 8 a.m. onwards. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where the real.
Oh, where the contraction started. So that means from 12 midnight to 8, she was just happy go lucky, no need epidural.
I think from 12 to 6 it was fine. Then
Okay, you
6
guys.
onwards
Okay.
she started to feel. Then okay, 8 o'clock she called for the epidural. Then from then onwards it was until 3. Yeah, so until 3:42. Then the baby came out.
How long
Then
was the pushing? Usually the delivery is very fast, one,
Very
unless
fast, right?
she
Yeah.
unless she's checked until cannot already.
yeah, so actually we were ready at about I think 1 p.m. But
Oh
we were waiting
wow.
for the gynae, so we
Oh
waited until
no.
Oh
3.
no.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
Where
Must
was
be
the
a very
yeah.
gynae?
famous gynae. Where was your gynae waiting? Is he very popular?
I don't know how popular she is, but I guess she was busy. Yeah, so
Lunch break.
Oh, you guys went to
or
Mount E,
maybe
right?
yeah, Mount E. So we
Well, our
will
private hospital some more.
so like at 1 p.m. we were like ready and waiting. Then the nurse had to like come in and check and see. Oh, okay, your baby's crowning. Then, okay, let's wait for the gynae.
What? So your baby was crying and you waited 2 hours for the gynae?
No, not 2 hours. I think about 1 hour. So like one o'clock.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
one
lot.
o'clock.
You
Then
should
two
get your
o'clock.
money
The
back.
crown is. Well, we got the baby, so I think that was fine.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How so was I guess the delivery was pretty. I mean, you waited an hour, so probably the delivery was just like, "Poop," but then come on.
Yeah. So actually, she had a bit of difficulty because I think she was in there too long. Then she actually had pooped inside
Oh no.
my wife. Yeah. So the doctor said that to get out
Oh,
quickly. Then because
wow.
I think after pushing, she couldn't come out at the right time, so they used the suction.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The vacuum thing lah.
Vacuum, yeah.
Yeah, use the vacuum.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah,
That's all on your gynae, by the way. If she had come on one, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
You were saying if she had become earlier, then maybe you wouldn't need the vacuum in the first place.
So does your
Yeah.
daughter's head have a
V shape. She had cone head.
But when she first came out, she had that cone head. It's gone now, so
Yeah.
thankfully everything's normal.
yeah.
Okay, so can I just ask you, how was the feeling like when you first saw her or like carried her for the first time? How heavy is she, by the way? That's the typical question every Singaporean friend must ask. How heavy is she?
She was quite light. I think she was about 2.5,
Oh, okay. Exactly the same
2.6.
as my daughter, 2.5.
Yeah,
Just the bare minimum. Don't need to stay longer. Don't need to do
yeah,
more checks. Okay.
yeah. So she was a very average baby, a bit on the light side. Then when she first came out, it was strange feeling for me. Yeah, because all this time I was only seeing her through the ultrasound.
Yeah.
Then suddenly she was like the doctor pulled her out with the suction. I was like suddenly, oh wow, there she
Oh
is.
yeah, I realized because you pull out, it's fast, right? Like
Yeah,
it's like sudden from nothing to like whole baby is out. You don't even see it like come out together with the placenta. It's just like whoop.
yeah. She just like pulled her out like a drawer. I was like, wow,
No.
okay, there she is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and hearing her scream for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
reality
she
kicks in, right?
screams way louder now.
Yeah. So when they put her on your wife, I presume,
Yeah,
after they clean her up, were you how was your did you guys cry or anything? Any reactions or just like, oh my gosh, this is real now?
yeah. Not really cry, but more how to say sentimental feeling.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
like
here.
yeah, it's here. Like
Who
this is
who
our baby.
who does she look like more? You or your wife?
I think she looks more like my wife in some places.
Okay.
Eyes,
The lower half.
yeah, eyes, nose, lips debatable.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's too early to tell. Like but I think when they are like below 3 months old, they change so much.
Yeah, so like even for my nephew and my niece, right?
Yeah.
They look very different from when they were babies and when they are now.
Yeah.
So
Who
yeah, so
knows?
yeah, so yeah, we'll see who she looks like. I'm hoping it's me.
Wait,
Yeah.
you sure or not? You sure or not? Just kidding.
Okay,
did
she
did
can keep
did
the good pictures of my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, she can keep the good pictures. You think what? You think it's like what character customization screen? I choose
Yeah,
the
yeah.
eyes 5, nose 2.
Save preset. Save preset.
Same preset. Usually, right, it's the opposite. You know, we always say like, I wish she has your eyes but my nose, and your mouth but not your neck. You know, your neck is weird or something like that, right? But usually, what happens is that your kid gets usually the worst of everybody. Did COVID at all affected you guys at all, or nothing? Like, there's no restrictions at all.
There were, I think, only very minor restrictions. Like I had to do the ART.
Oh, before you
Then
entered the room, okay.
yeah, then I think apart from that, just wear a mask. Then nothing else really.
Okay.
I think by
So
then they were already winding down.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
I
Um,
see.
this was before the new news of like, but anyway, it's the rules are still the same in healthcare establishments, right? Still have to
Yeah.
wear masks and everything. I'm so jealous of you guys, by the way. All right, so smooth to David. How long did you guys stay in the hospital for? 2 days?
Uh, two nights. Yeah, 3 days,
Oh,
two
two
nights.
nights. That's long.
Yeah.
Longer than normal. Did she have like her usual like jaundice and like any
Yeah, she
complications?
had jaundice. So they put her in the, I think, the light therapy while she was there. Then when it's time to feed, they'll wheel her in.
Yeah. So you guys basically left her in the nursery lah the whole time.
Yeah.
That is the right choice, bro. That is something that I tell like, I think I tell this story every time to new fathers. But the first time we had where we had Rebecca, we told you have this like feeling that you want to take care of your baby, right? Because like your baby, you need to start to learn how to take care, right? But you've just been through like an incredibly tiring ordeal. For you, it was like what 21 hours or something. So
Yeah.
now you're like, oh, but you're so tired. But then for us, what we did was that we said, no, we want to bring her in. Then we bring her, she cry. We don't know what to do with her. Then the first night, the nurse said, how about do you want us to put her in the nursery? Wow, the next 4 hours we just slept like
Yo.
we both knock out.
Yeah.
Then from then on, we just say just leave her in the nursery for the next 2 days or something because we were like, no, sorry, we need our sleep now. But
Yeah, you're gonna spend the next like 20 years with her.
yeah, you're gonna spend the rest of your life with her, so it's good that she was in there. So how was your first? I would say the first 2 weeks is probably the most jarring in terms of like you don't know what the heck you're doing, what's going on. How was
Yeah.
your
So
first 2 weeks? Like
first 2 weeks were a lot of sleepless nights because that we were worried. Is she drinking enough?
Is she
Is she
breathing?
passing enough urine? Is she breathing? Like, oh no, what's happening to her? Why is she crying now?
yeah,
So it was stressful, I would say.
but now it's better already.
Now still slightly better.
Is it more the case of she's better, or you guys are just more like, oh, you know
I
what,
think
she's
it's both.
fine.
Yeah, it's both. Like, we've learned to accept when she can cry herself to sleep, when she
Mm-mm-mm.
can when we need to attend to her.
That's good. That's
And
good.
yeah, and also that she's starting to sleep more now. So between feeds, last time she used to sleep like, I think 1 hour, then she'll start crying again. So now
What?
she,
Salah, 1 hour. As in, is it even at night?
yeah, even at night. So like
One
1 hour.
hour.
Yeah, 1 hour is damn shit.
Yeah,
That's insane. And you guys are you guys doing formula, or are you doing breastfeeding?
we tried to do exclusive breastfeeding at first until like
Yeah, but
we were worried that she wasn't drinking enough, so we gave her formula to supplement.
Yeah. Did the same as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
But when she was feeding, she would like fall asleep, so we couldn't rouse her until
But
it was
jaundice
time for the
babies
next feed.
they always do
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this,
that,
then you drink less and then fall asleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they drink and then they
yeah, so
sleep.
that was the problem. So getting her to keep feeding was tiring to say. Yeah.
Like wake
Yeah.
up, drink.
Yeah.
drink.
No, but it's also funny because you like she sleep, you're like, but she's sleeping, so you kind of don't want to wake her up. But then at the same time, you're like, crap, but if I don't wake her up, then she's gonna cry like very soon again, and I feed her again.
Yeah. So it was like we have to wake her up to make sure she drinks enough, but we also want her to sleep enough.
Yeah. And is her jaundice fine now? Or is she have to go for a checkup? Is the levels okay?
Yeah. So now she's completely okay already.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, usually the first 2 months they'll clear up, and then I think after 2 months if they still have, then they'll go for a bit more serious investigations. But okay, that's cool. Can I just ask you, like, when you first heard the news? Okay, did you guys, because you're the same age as Marv, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean, and this is your first child, so I would say in terms of like Singapore birth standards, that's pretty much older than the median, I guess. Did you guys like? Was it always like planned this way, or did you like? Because there's some people who like never want to have a kid, and then all of a sudden they say, "Oh no, I
I think he
feel
was
like I want
waiting
that."
for his place, right, Jared?
Or did you?
Yes.
Was there a reason why you waited so a little bit longer?
Yeah. Actually, we were waiting for the house.
Ah,
Then,
so that's why.
but because of this COVID, the house got delayed, so our
Damn.
plans also got delayed. Yeah. So, and also we were a bit concerned about having a baby when
COVID,
COVID
right?
was
Yeah.
widespread. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but in the end, yeah, we decided to have. So then here we are now.
Yeah. So what
No
were
turning back.
your? Did you guys did you have like did you prepare? Did you and your wife prepare a lot? I'm talking. You can talk about all kinds of preparation, whether it's like physical preparation in terms of like setting up the room. I presume that side is done, or did you guys prepare a lot in terms of like mentally, or I don't know what did you guys, or was it more like it's okay when the baby comes in, we'll figure it out as it goes.
I would say our rate of preparation was quite high. So yeah, mostly in part because of my wife. Yeah, she's the great planner.
She's a great planner.
Yeah.
Pause prep.
So hospital routes.
Hospital routes. Oh my gosh, like armies, evacuation route.
Yeah. Hospital routes, contingency plan,
Wow.
hospital bag,
Yeah.
numbers to call,
Okay.
ambulances, on standby. All the emergency numbers. Then but of course with all kinds of planning, there are also things that you don't plan for, like you can't
Yeah.
plan for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good details, yeah.
That's super detailed. I think the funny thing is that you prepare so much for the actual delivery, but there's a lot of stuff that happens. I think most fathers will know, and most parents will know that actually the true test comes like post delivery.
Yeah. So I think post delivery there were a lot of things that we didn't expect. Like
Yeah.
like my wife, she took the epidural, so we didn't expect for the side effect to last longer than the 3 days we stayed there. So so even after discharge, we couldn't walk very well because
Yeah.
the epidural was in her leg.
Wow, that's long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But
that
she's fine now, lah, right?
yeah. Now she's
No
okay. She
no lasting effects, lah.
yeah, but it lasted for like I think 2 weeks.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that was probably quite scary lah for both of you.
Yeah. So a lot of things she couldn't do also because she couldn't walk properly, like carrying the baby. She had to do on the bed. So I was the ferryman.
Also, you have to wake up just to bring the baby to her to breastfeed.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Was there any? Do you recall any one incident where you like this is the one go to story you'll tell people about your first 7 weeks as with your kid?
First 7 weeks. go-to story. I think that. Oh yeah, cause she had jaundice, right? So I think in the first week she was sleeping all the time, and we couldn't. We tried to feed her, and she would like doze off, and we were quite worried. So we were worried she was dehydrated, right? So we went to A&E. It was like middle of the night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so middle of the night. Yeah, we went A&E. We went to KKH.
Yeah. That's the only one I
Yeah.
think.
Then they said okay, they have to admit her because she has jaundice quite bad. And, she was dehydrated, so they were gonna put her on the light therapy throughout the night, right? So and for KKH, I think they said only
One parent allowed,
one
right?
parent allowed there.
Oof.
Then so you think that no way we're gonna leave her there alone with like my wife who can't walk at that time,
Yeah.
or me and my wife. I can't stay with my daughter and then my wife try and find a way home with a
Oh
bad leg.
no. So
Yeah.
what do you guys
So
do?
so so we winged it. Right. We said, okay, we'll settle her down and then one of us will leave. So so we ended up staying in the room, right? We stayed in the ward. My wife was there, then we would take turns staying there, then my wife would go to the toilet, then she'll come out, then I'll go, so I'll walk
Oh my
around.
gosh, you trolled the system.
Yeah. Then I came back, then the nurse would say, only one of you can stay here is after visiting. I'll say, okay, yeah, we just settle up baby, then I'll go. So this went on until the next morning. So we were both still there.
Oh no. Did the nurse eventually just give up? Like, okay lah, whatever lah.
Yeah, I think they also knew. Like we were saying, okay, it's a newborn and my wife can't walk. I think uh, let's be compassionate here, right? So I
Yeah.
think they also didn't push too
Push
hard.
it too hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
I
returned
think.
the next morning 8 a.m. Then okay, yeah, both of us are here.
And like, was that after that the treatment done? Then she was okay already.
Treatment after the treatment she got better then, but they want to keep her there longer. They said we would rather do the therapy at home. So that's what we did. We rented
Oh, they rented the
the
machine.
Oh, you can rent
rented
the
the
machine?
machine.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that means
So
the
we
charges
rented
must have
the
been quite bad to rent the machine. Mm.
yeah. I think it was quite high at the time because also she wasn't drinking enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so she needed the machine, so we got the machine, we brought her home, then we did the therapy there for
Okay.
another 3 days.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Is it in terms of like taking care of your kid? Is it just like you and your wife primary caretakers, or are your in-laws or your parents helping with you guys with that? Because that's a general
Uh,
thing that most people don't realize in Singapore. Like the in-laws and parents do a lot of the work, but depends
yeah.
on every individual.
I think primarily it's me and my wife. Then my in-laws will come when we need help lah. Like, sometimes in the day. I think first 2 weeks they came a lot. They came over quite a lot to help out. Like because throughout the night we would be like awake trying to feed her and stuff. Then daytime they'll come over and watch her while we rest
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
afternoon. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's good. So it's been a amicable like thing lah with your in-laws and parents. Because sometimes it can be very messy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
cause my in-laws are closer, so it makes sense for them to help
To
out
come
more.
more often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. So I think like just my last question in terms of like how has it been general, like I don't just ask you to give a review, like out of 10, but like has it been like being a I mean, I would say when they're this young, a lot of it is just physical taken care of. There's not much of parenting that goes on. The parenting is purely just taking care of their physical needs because obviously you don't need to discipline them. When they cry, it's not because they want to be brats. They just need something, whether it's water or physical warmth or someone to hold them. Do you think has this like 7 weeks been like exceeding because obviously people have told you like how tough it might be or something like that, but has it been like meeting or exceeding your expectations?
Yeah, I think it would the moment she's first started to smile at us, then yeah, that was when it started to exceed.
Yeah. That's the winning ticket, right? Can cry the whole night, but I won't smile at you. Okay lah, whatever lah, for you lah.
Yeah, everything forgiven.
And this will continue on, by the way, especially later on when they become like our kids' age, right? They'll do stupid things and then they'll smile at you. Then you're like, wow, I need to forgive you.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
Yeah, and some more yours is a girl.
Yeah.
Yours is a girl. So even you, especially as a dad, right? You're gonna be like the most susceptible to her.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any like questions or do you think it's just like, yeah? Are you more? You think you're more of like a as it happens kind of person? Then we'll figure it out, or do you like, there's some, I would say most dads aren't this case, but maybe some moms are, where they like, they join like mom groups, and then they try to like read up on the as much as they can in terms of like, the child development cycle, the leaps, how they can be better parents. Are you more of that kind, or you're the okay lah, whatever lah, as it comes?
Yeah. I would say my wife is more of the kind. So I'm more of the see and wait what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Exactly
she's
the
the
same.
other extreme. She's the
Yeah,
other
I
extreme
think most of us are pretty much the same. I would say, like for me, I think Marv and I have very similar experiences now, thinking of because we all have daughters. And so to be fair, also our wives are not like super like garang about planning. Also, I mean they plan obviously, but they're much more planning than us. But they're not like sticklers about it. Like you must follow this exact plan. If not, the whole universe will stop. Kind of moms. But I think the truth of the matter is that you've really experienced a bit of the unexpectedness. Is that like, because the development cycle is like, oh no, when they hit like 3 months, this will happen, the leap will happen. But all these numbers are just numbers. They don't, not all babies follow that same cycle. So that even
pass through.
yeah, so now even when stuff happens, right, I'm like, that I'll look at my wife and what the heck is going on? What's wrong with her today? Why is she so crazy today? Right? And I think it's just like, but I think for me it's like you remember these crazy moments. Like, I mean, obviously the story you shared about her jaundice, and then you trolling the system, is funny now. But I'm sure when it was happening, it was pretty stressful.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of like these are the things that you kind of remember. You can tell your kid in the future. Are you guys taking a crap ton of photos of her? Oh, is it? Did he get cut off?
Hey, Jared, are you there? No, he's there. But
Oh, but we can't hear him.
I can't hear you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So
I-
lots of photos, but mostly my wife who takes the photos.
Can I just suggest that you guys should create a Google Photos account
A shared album.
and a shared album, right? This is my advice. And then you just like upload, because both of you will take photos
Just
eventually,
dump all
right?
your photos into
And just as photo dump, just dump all your photos, and you can even give access to your in-laws, just so that they can, don't need to keep WhatsApping them the videos and photos. You just say, go look at the Google photo lah, whatever lah. It's just there already. Do you do that already?
No, we don't have a Google, but we have like a album. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so my advice is, what I do is, I have two shared albums. One is just with my wife, where we put all the photos inside. And then we have another shared album.
Curated.
Yes, curated photos that the aunties have access to. So,
Yeah.
because, I mean, I'm sure everyone has like aunties who make,
Wait,
lots of
what?
comments and
No,
stuff.
all my aunties are amazing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so that's why we need to have curated photos. So only
Yeah.
the ones that are like can pass put inside there. Yeah. You can
Okay.
you can explore. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but Jared, honestly, if you have any questions or you just want to like belt or complain, whatever, you don't need to tell us. You can tell us on like outside of the podcast as well, because I think a lot of people are very concerned with mothers, and rightly so. Like, because they don't only go through like this huge change. They also have like post hormonal, all the hormones go crazy in them, and then like for us, it's just like what the heck's going on. But we don't experience all these things, right? But yeah, so I and rightly so, we need to put a lot of it. I think as a husband, that's like yes, we take care of our baby, but I think it's more important to take care of the mother first, because if it kind of works in that like pyramid, that triangle, right? If you take care of the mother will take care of the daughter, and then everything kind of works out better that way.
Yeah.
But also for dads, I think can be a bit overlooked. So like, I remember, I think after the first 2 weeks, I felt very like, I don't know. Are you the kind of guy that like go? I don't know you that well, but in terms of like you value your freedom a lot. You like to go out. You like to have your own free time, and then with a kid, basically none of this applies anymore.
Yeah. I think yeah, I do need my own time, like me time.
I mean,
So
Joe is very
yeah.
similar to me lah. Our me time is you just let me game,
It's gaming.
peace, kind of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Ian said though. It's very common when people ask, "Oh, how's the baby doing? How's the mother doing?" But nobody asks, "How's the dad doing?" Um, it's just very normal in our world today, in society today. You don't realize that actually the dad suffers after, not suffers lah, but his tough times come after the delivery. Like what you said lah, I experienced the same thing. So my wife, Sherilyn, after she gave birth, then cannot really move much, right? So basically you're doing almost everything. Yeah. And then people don't realize that it takes a toll on the dad also. I mean, yeah, it's fun, you're having a brand new experience, but then the fatigue and stuff just does catch up to you lah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I,
it-
I, I did prepare myself to be like the punching bag.
yeah,
yeah,
but you gotta take care of yourself also. But I will say, right, I'll give you this. It gets a lot easier. I know it's very cliche, but like it does get a lot easier, especially if you. I don't know if you and your wife plan to sleep train. Probably your wife probably want to sleep train, because if your
Yeah.
wife's the preparer kind, probably
Yeah,
want to sleep train
we want her to
to sleep. You need your sleep also, right?
get her to sleep on her own.
Yeah. So I think once you do like a lot of these things, and as they get older, they do get a lot easier in terms of
Yeah.
like managing their schedule and their time, and you can kind of like sneak your life back into to its origin. You'll never go back to what it was before, but it will like gain some semblance of normalcy. So I will say it does pass, even though it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes the nights I'm like, what is going on? What's happening now?
yeah.
But yeah, keep at it, bro.
Like some nights we would think we've got better or she's got better, and then
The next night
next night
totally
she
changed, right?
regresses, like
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
regressed.
yeah. And this will happen like multiple times as she gets older. Like she'll pass a leap, and then she'll be okay for the next 2 weeks, and then she'll just go crazy again.
Yeah. Like one moment we think, oh, we got this. Okay, we can do this. Then
No,
next
we
night
don't
like
got this.
we don't got this.
I, yeah. I always say that God made babies cute, so you don't throw them out the window. Like she probably the Edison smiled at you at the right time. Like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody else had to catch it.
Like she'll show this huge crying fit, right? Then at the end of it, she'll like smile at you. And you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
forgiven.
That's the beauty. It's the yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Thanks for sharing. I know it's a trying time. Kampate, we're here for you if you need. We're gonna continue on this podcast, so we still have some topics to talk about. If you, we would love for you to stay, but if you, we know you're a new dad, so if you need to rush off and do other things, do let us know. But if you if you want to stay, we would love to have your input on a few things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I think she's quiet for now,
Sleeping.
so I
Yes.
sometime.
Okay. So if we hear her cry, then we'll know. Will we hear her cry?
Not sure, but I think my
Okay.
wife will let me know.
Yeah.
He will summon you lah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the obviously what was in the episode heading, which is the one with the Steam Deck. So, Jared, you know Marv. I'm pretty sure you know that Marv has a Steam Deck, right?
Yeah, he has advertised it.
Yeah. So, okay, Marv, before we ask more questions, give us just your first impressions and your review. How long you had it? What have you been doing with it?
I've had it for I think slightly over. This is the third week. I had it for 3 weeks. I used the bulk of it when I was in NS because so the reception in camp is really bad. Like so when I was on reservist, and even WhatsApp sometimes took like a few minutes just to send out a message or receive message. Yeah, because we are right at the age of crunchy. Like you look out from the bunk, right? It's all forest already. Yeah, so I brought my Steam Deck in. 100% it served its purpose. Like it's a portable PC that plays almost like lots and lots of Steam games, right? Um, I played like 2 games on it so far. Call of the Lamb, and I'm currently working through Fallen Order. Yeah. So physical first impressions is that it's huge. It's really big. Like it makes the Switch look small. Like the normal Switch look small. Yeah. It's quite hefty. Like when you first hold it up, it doesn't feel that heavy, but it takes a toll on your wrist, like your arms after a while. So you have to like rest on something. You can't just if you're holding a Switch, you can just like hold a Switch and play like that. But this one
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
you hold it for a while, right? Wow, your arms will be like
Like you can't lie in bed and hold
yeah,
it
you
like
can't like
like
bare hold, yeah.
facing. Yeah.
The button placements are actually really good. Like on first look, it looks very weird. Like it's all squished to the corners of the Steam Deck. But when you actually use it, it's super ergonomic, and there are like pedals at the back also. Yeah, the screen is like the size of the screen is good lah. The only thing that's not so good in that sense is that it doesn't have an OLED screen. So
Oh
the
yeah,
colors, yeah,
the colors are a bit dull.
yeah, a bit dull. Like when you compare it to the Switch OLED, which is fine for like maybe the first iteration. Maybe I'm pretty sure the next few iterations will, get better. Battery life is bad, for sure. If you play like a triple A game, like let's say Fallen Order, maybe 1.5 hours, then it dies.
Could you
Yeah.
tweak it to get more battery
So
life, like lower performance
yes, so
requirements?
that's the other like huge pro about the Steam Deck. You can set game specific profiles for energy consumption to the point where you can even control like how many watts, like the wattage.
Yeah, they pull from the that it pulls from the GPU,
Mm.
right?
You
CPU.
can set how many cores you want the GPU to use.
Wow.
You can set like a limit on the FPS. So for like Fallen Order, and the great thing is that because it runs on Linux, right?
Yep.
Like there's this website called ProtonDB where people submit like their reviews of games on the Linux system, and especially for Steam Deck, people even submit like what is the optimal settings that you want to play on if you want like good battery life. So all you
Yeah.
have to do
Okay.
is go to the website, read a few reviews, copy their settings, their profile settings, and then you go off and then you can get like better battery life lah.
Wait. So
Yeah.
when you say this ProtonDB thing, is it a downloadable file that you kind of like XML it into
No,
your game, or you
it's
have to
a
like literally manually do the
yes,
settings?
it's a website. It's a website that collates people's reviews of games on Linux. Yeah. So you just have to
But you
follow.
need to manually do it
Yeah,
and then save the profile.
it's not hard though, because you can
Yeah,
literally
yeah, yeah.
just press one button, and then the settings come out, and then you just change everything you want. Um, what else? Let me see.
How is the? I was gonna. I mean, I can ask you some questions
Okay.
because how is the UI like?
The Steam OS is intuitive like basically it's kind of like the Steam app on your PC.
Store like, it's a Steam store.
Yeah. So it's not complicated. Everything is there. Um, there are some things that I know it's not within their power, but it's still quite annoying. So for example, certain games require you to be online when you load them up. For
Is this
example, like Fallen Order. So what
yeah?
happens is when you load Fallen Order up, you have to sign into Origin. And
Yeah.
if the game is closed, you have to load it. It will go through the Origin launcher through the Steam OS lah. So
Is that purely because it's an Origin game?
yes, so all the Origin games have this issue.
Damn EA.
Even though you bought it on Steam. they still make you
Yeah,
sign in.
oh, but that's true for PC as well. Like on if you buy phone order on Steam right now on your PC, it forces you to go to Origin as well.
Yeah, exactly. Which is pretty annoying lah. So for example, if you were on a flight and you have no internet connection and you wanted to switch from this game to another game, then
Yeah, you
couldn't.
can't.
Yeah, but that's not a problem of Steam lah. That's more of a problem of the publisher. They don't really have power.
So can I ask you for general gameplay? Is
You're
it kind of
cutting
like
out.
this where
You're going super robot.
sorry, is it am I better now? Is it the same? Okay, then I continue then.
Yeah, maybe I'll just talk first until you stabilize. Yeah, so I played Cult of the Lamb. It's a base builder coupled with a roguelite. Yeah, it's super cute. And I think it's a perfect game for the Steam Deck. Yeah. You can kind of like you can do everything of course lah on the Steam Deck without, because it uses a controller setup. So I think that's the other thing that excels when you play games on the Steam Deck, is that if you play games that are very good or built for the controller, it's gonna be a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You got better now?
No,
Oh,
it's
this
still
is-
pretty bad. You wanna log in
I
and log
do
out?
in Japanese internet.
Hello. Waiting for him to log back in. And he is loading.
Am I better?
Nope, still roboty.
It's okay. I'll ask my questions to the chat.
This is what happens when you go to a rural area in Japan.
I'm not that rural.
Okay, let me see your questions. Go ahead. You seem better now. Talk.
Is it like the Switch
Yeah.
where is it? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Still the same?
Better,
So
better.
it's still like the Switch, right? Where it's like whenever you turn off the thing, it saves the state of the game. So you can like, let's say if you choose to play Fallen Order and you load on it on the internet with internet already, even if you bought the flight with no internet, you can still play the game, right?
Yeah.
Because it kind of like loads the save state, kind of like your Switch
Yeah.
does.
So it works exactly.
It's just that if you want to change, it's just that if you want to change a game, and it requires an online connection, you can't do that.
yeah, then you can
basically.
do that. Correct.
Okay.
So what I did was
Alright.
I started it up at home. Then I powered it down. I put in sleep mode, brought it to camp, then unsleep it, and it works lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's annoying. That's an annoying workaround lah.
Yeah.
If you don't have internet. Although to be fair, that's also not a very common problem to have. It just happens that you were in a army camp that had really bad internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because generally in Singapore, you generally have internet connection. Even if you have to use it through your phone, you could probably just do it.
I mean, there's a ton of games that don't require you to log in. lah.
Yeah.
It's just that I wanted to play Fallen Order.
So, yeah. Do you think that okay? So I mean, I've listened to a lot of podcasts of like how they iterated the Steam Deck, in the sense that they did a lot of research on the so like the Steam Deck is the way it is now. It could have been smaller. It could have been bigger. But they chose this configuration because it was like the perfect blend. What they felt was the perfect blend of like battery life and ergonomics. Like they could have made it a lot smaller. Like Marv said, it's big, right? It's big, it's hefty, it's heavy.
Huge.
But if they make it smaller, the screen gets smaller, the battery gets smaller, the maybe I mean I think the CPU GPU will stay the same, but everything gets sacrificed. So and if you make it too big, then it does get a bit bigger battery, but then everything else suffers as well. So, what do you think is like? You've had it for 3 weeks. It's not that super long. What do you think is the next iteration of the deck? Like, I mean, obviously, the obvious answer is better CPU, better GPU, like more processing power. But I mean, compared to the Switch, right? The Steam Deck is a freaking Lamborghini, right?
Yeah, of course.
It does have. Have you tried using it docked?
No, I don't have a dock that would allow me to use it dock. Because you have to have a.
Okay, so you need to buy the dock, special dock.
You can use any USB dock, USB-C
Could-
dock
Okay.
that has output like HDMI or DVI, whatever.
Okay, so
But
you
I
could use a
don't have one.
USB-C to HDMI and
You
connect it to
use
any
a-
monitor.
So you use a USB. You can use. So what you need to do is you need to use a USB-C to the dock so that the dock charges
Dock. Oh,
it, and then you HDMI to the dock.
okay. So you can't use directly to HDMI because you need a power source,
Yeah,
basically.
you can, but you'll just drain the battery lah.
Okay. So in a sense, I mean, I know they're making a dock now. Like
No, there
Valve
is a
did not.
They have
And
already.
they have there's an unofficial dock, but they
No,
haven't
there
released.
is there is an official dock that they have shown off at TGS.
Yeah, at TGS, but it hasn't been released.
It's just
Also,
not released. Yeah.
yeah. So, but in the sense that it didn't come with your deck,
Yeah, it did.
which seems like, I mean, I think it should come with your deck. You know what I mean? Like, or at least it should be an add-on. Like, it should give you the option to pay $20 more to add on to it.
This
right?
is where I think that not having a dock is fine, because it's not a Switch. Because if you're at home and you can play it docked, just play it on your PC.
No, but that's you. You have a PC.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
mean,
about
if you
the
have a
people who
PC,
don't have, like people who use this as a replacement.
But
Like
I
I can
think
imagine
most
people use this as a laptop.
I think most people who have a deck have a PC. I think a very small subset of people who bought a deck don't have a gaming PC.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I think it's in a sense like, if you just like you could install Windows and Microsoft Word in it, for example, if you wanted to. And then in a sense, instead of bringing your laptop, you just to a work meeting or school meeting, you just bring your deck and you just connect. You could. I mean, it's probably not ideal. It's probably really weird. People are like, what the heck is your deck doing here? But it is possible to do it. And so I think the dock it's not necessary. It's not as necessary as a Switch, but it's something that I think is core part of what the deck. Like it's more of a feature, right? It's basically a PC, so you can produce output for it. Do you think this is primarily for people who have PC already?
I think it's for people who. Okay, I wouldn't say it's only for people who have a PC, but I think the biggest draw is for people who already have a strong Steam library.
Okay. Because I think okay, so I don't know. When the Steam Deck was released, it was released only in Europe, North America. I think these are the only two countries, two areas that it was released, right, Ma?
Yeah.
Europe, North
Canada,
America.
Canada, US, UK,
And Europe.
yeah.
So
And Europe.
yeah, so obviously those are the considerably strong markets that always have been strong in PC. Considering that SEA and Asia in general has always been a more console heavy market, but they are pushing very strongly into Japan and Korea because Japan has historically been a console only market and particularly handheld console only market. So I think Valve kind of sees this as like Japan loves handhelds. Japan is starting to increase their PC market size. So they kind of see this as like a perfect time to kind of like move in, which I agree. I don't know whether I'll see many people with Steam Decks here, but at the same time, I pre-registered for one and I'm number 30 something thousand. So I guess there is a market for it. So do you think, okay, so we'll see. I hope it does well. What do you think is the future of the deck? Do you think, obviously apart from a better screen and more processing power, what do you think it can be done to be better?
Oh, that's a tough question because I do think that in its current state, it does its job super well. I mean, there's things like what you said, more of a technical side, better battery life, better screen, kind of stuff. I don't really know how else they can make it better. Maybe
Apart from the software wise, you think is
that's what I was thinking also. Maybe if they can support for it to come with Windows instead.
okay.
Because if it came with Windows, you could play everything.
Yeah.
So now, what a lot of people do is they dual boot. So they install Windows on like an SD card or something else, an external flash drive. And then they plug it in when they want to boot Windows up.
Okay.
But it takes work, right? Like for somebody who's let's say an IT noob, and you just want to play games, and let's say I love Destiny, I want to play. I'm like, oh my god, I want to play Destiny on the go, and then you
Yeah,
realize that you can't play Destiny on the Steam Deck, the Steam OS, because it's Linux,
yeah.
and then Bungie hates Linux, so
Also,
there's
you cannot play Destiny on
you
Steam
can't
Deck.
play Destiny on Linux.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Bungie doesn't enable it, because it's mainly because of anti cheat. So
Yeah. So most of the
Bungie
competitive online
uses
games.
Battle Eye or like Easy anti cheat, or this they don't support Linux. So there's no way. Whereas if you think about it, right, Destiny is like one of the perfect games to play on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, because it's also a console type of game. So
Yeah.
it's like the controls are just mapped
So it's kind of
perfectly.
sad lah. Yeah.
Okay. Jared, are you still there? Sorry.
Yep, still here.
Will you get a Steam Deck, or are you interested in the Steam Deck at all?
Well, it looks interesting, but I don't know if I can get it without my wife.
Ah, yes. So it's not a matter of whether you can, it's whether your wife approves, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because even if I get it, I'm not sure if I'll be able to use it as much.
Oh, but I would assume that it's perfect for fathers, right? In a sense, like instead of like, oh, I'm gonna go to the room and play my Steam Deck, I go and play my PC. Like I can stay in the living room together with all of you, who might be you watching your TV series, and
That's
Yeah.
my daughter is in the corner playing with toys. I'm still here.
that's something that I do. Like
Yeah, so I can see the merits of it. Yeah, but of
yeah,
course that needs to be discussed.
you bring your
I
Steam Deck
agree.
out to the hall, right? Your wife's watching TV, whatever drama, whatever crap. Your kid's playing in the corner on her mat with her toys, and then you're just sitting on the sofa. Your Steam Deck. Anything happens, you need to do something, just put it to sleep, and then go do your stuff. Yeah, I think
It's like the Switch in that case, lah. Basically.
yeah, it's basically the Switch that lets you play Steam games.
Yeah. Okay. I will say I'm very interested in it because I have a lot of games on Steam.
Yeah,
I have, and I'm the kind where I love portability. I do a lot of commute in Japan as well, so I definitely see myself wanting it. Yeah, it's just a matter of whether
oh, there's one thing.
I,
There's one
I
thing
want
that I
it
think
enough.
I wish they had done better. Is that the carrying case is hella bulky.
Okay.
It's
Is that on
super
design?
huge.
Is that by design to protect for protection?
Yes, I think it is, but wow, it's super big. So I carried it around in my bag, right? And it makes my bag like super fat.
Yeah. Are there third party cases that you could buy though? That is much
yeah, there
smaller?
are, but most of them are as huge or even bigger, which is super
Yeah, I
annoying to
mean,
me.
it's like the thing itself is huge. How small can your case be?
Have you seen my Switch Lights cover? The one by Genki?
No. Oh yes, I have. That's tiny though. That's
Yes.
tiny.
I would love like for a version of that. So like the back is covered, then you have a detachable cover to protect the screen. Yeah. I
Yeah.
wish somebody
Oh,
would
okay.
make one of those.
Yeah. I think there's only like 2 or 3 companies making stuff for Steam Deck now. It's not mainstream
there are
enough.
quite a lot. Just like they are just
Yeah.
not the big
It's not
companies
as milestone as it's not as mainstream as the Switch though.
yeah.
So you definitely don't have as many companies making
Maybe in a
stuff
year
for
or
it
two
because
lah.
there's not as big of a market yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's the Steam Deck. I would love one. So we'll see. We'll see. I hear that it's going to be released in Japan end of the year. I don't know how true is that. We'll see. So I've got 2 more topics to talk about, but I want to talk about this one first, which is about our kids. So I thought about this because we talk about games a lot and we talk about what we've been watching and we do talk about our kids a lot. But I thought it'd be nice because our kids grow up like pretty fast. Like with a kid, like every 2-3 weeks, every month, your kid does something new, and there are these milestones that I would love to remember our kids, and so I don't want to call this segment milestones, but I'll think of a better. If you have a catchy name that you guys want to think of, that you guys have a recommendation, you can tell me. But I just want to share like some of my Rebecca's new experiences because I find it very interesting, and I would love for Marv to share a bit about Meredith as well. And Jared, if your kid has new experiences apart from crying and pooping and peeing, we would love for you to share as well. But in my experience, That's the most they can do. Maybe hold that. Can she hold her head up, by the way? Does she do I presume you do tummy time lah.
Yeah. So she's been trying to do that. Of course, when I try and rest her on my chest,
Yeah.
she'll just do tummy
It
time
is
and she
right,
raise
it
the
up.
thing.
Yeah.
Look at you, right?
Yeah. So cute.
Yeah, she refused to relax, which was
And
the
then-
whole point of getting her to lie on me.
And then when supposed to do the skin on skin, right? Supposed to like when half the time she's just trying to raise her head. And then when she raises her head, she does. I don't know whether your kid does it, but most kids will do it where they like raise their head. They also like crinkle their eyebrows, so she looks like old person with like her her forehead crunched together.
Yeah, she
quite
does
cute.
that.
Yeah, it's quite cute. So I want to share about mine first, and then Marv, you can think about it as. But
Sure.
recently, Rebecca has. So Jared, do you know who Ampaman is?
Yeah.
So I don't know why I don't know about Ampaman,
You
but
didn't know?
maybe no, I
Oh,
totally
wow.
didn't know about Ampaman. But obviously, for those who know Ampaman, he is a Japanese cartoon character that is very very old. I don't actually know when he was created, but definitely way before. I think my parents' time probably he was
Probably.
created. And the reason why it's called Ampaman is because Ampan means red bean bun. Red bean bun, right?
bean
And
bun,
so one thing I realized about him is that okay, firstly he looks weird. Like if you look at him generally, he's a circle face.
His red
with
nose,
three
right?
circles on.
Something
Yeah,
like
he's a red nose, and his cheeks are bright red as well, and then he has very small eyes, basically. And he's bald, right? Because he's obviously a red bean, but he obviously doesn't have hair. And if you know the story, it's very interesting, right? Because what happens is that Jamu Oji-san, which is his creator, he's a maker. So he makes bread, and he
You're
just
breaking up,
happens.
bro.
Sorry. Okay, am I back? Is it still okay?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, you're back.
Alright, I was just sharing an exciting part about Ampaman's birth story. This is way more exciting than Batman's death of his parents and all these things. Ampaman's birth story is so interesting. But anyway, so the baker has like a kind heart and always distributes bread to other people. His name is Jamu Oji-san, like jam, like jam Oji-san. And he basically creates one single ampan, and during the time there's a star fall, I think that happens, and the star fall basically goes into his chili and creates ampan.
What the heck?
And then so basically that's his birth story, which is very very cool. But it's also very interesting. So every kid in Japan knows what ampan is. He is universal here. Like as a kid, from 0 to maybe 4 or 5, I think every kid goes through Ampaman.
Like
I don't know whether we have.
It's
I don't know whether we have
childhood
something.
toy or something like that. Childhood
Yeah, I
story.
don't know we have something similar in Singapore. Because Singaporeans go through phases. I don't think we have this as much as like one ubiquitous character where I would say every generation knows. Like in Japan, we know it. Now my kid will know it as well, and my parents will as well. Right? I don't know. Like what do you grow up watching? I grew up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right.
We were
and
talking
stuff
like
that.
1
Now
to 4. I don't know, sia. I think my wife would say like Doraemon that level.
Yeah, Doraemon
Doraemon.
and
Yeah.
Marketer as well.
Is Doraemon still marketed now? That's the question. Like, do your kids know Doraemon?
My Meredith does know Doraemon because we let her watch on Sundays, I think at 9:30, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
So-
not,
so
it's not something that
Yeah.
every kid will know. For sure.
Yeah. So the reason why I mentioned this is because Rebecca has a newfound love for Ampaman. And the funny thing is that we didn't teach her any of this. I have no Ampaman stuff in my house. I don't watch Ampaman. I didn't even know about him that much. But then recently she came back home and then we went to the doctor. Okay, so she fell sick. And then there's obviously a lot of Ampaman books in the doctors, right? So she started flipping the pages and she was like, Ampaman, 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 Ampaman. Then my wife was like, how the heck does she know who Ampaman is? And she's saying it like my daughter is not like Meredith, right? She doesn't know that many words. Like she doesn't say that many words. So the fact that she knows a 3-syllable word, Ampaman, so clearly, I was like, how the heck that? So I found out that basically she learns it in nursery. Like there's Ampaman everywhere lah. Basically they learn it everywhere.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
I just found it very cute. So recently we brought her. There's an Ampaman museum in Sendai, so we brought her there. And now every morning when she wakes up, so she doesn't watch the Ampaman anime at all. she just listens to the march, the main theme song. It's called Ampama Machi, like the march of Anpanman. And it's actually very, very cute and very, very catchy. So every morning when she wakes up, once I pick her up from bed and bring her down, she'll immediately run to the couch. She'll sit on it. She'll say, sit, sit. So she wants me to sit next to her. And she'll go, Ampaman, Ampaman. So she just wants to watch the Ampaman match, like the show. But she doesn't watch the show at all. She doesn't care about the show. She just wants to watch the music. She just wants to listen to that particular music song and watch that particular video, which is very, very like not very animated that much. So yeah, so that's my story of Rebecca's newfound love for Ampaman. What about Marv?
Recently we've started to, I would say, condition her or teach her limits. Yeah, so Meredith loves Cocomelon. If you've seen her
So
cake,
does Rebecca.
yeah, her birthday cake, it's Cocomelon.
Is JJ? Is JJ?
No, it's all four of them.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
like the topper was Cocomelon lah. So we celebrated her birthday like last Sunday, like the Sunday.
Oh
that
yeah,
passed.
yeah, yeah.
But actual birthday is like this coming weekend lah. But yeah, so we celebrated it early because her Biao Yi, her auntie lah, is getting married, so it clashes with her birthday. Yeah. But anyway, so recently we've been like doing this thing where, because she wants to watch, so she loves the TV. She'll say, Papa, on the TV, Cocomelon. Then, and we want to set like boundaries and limits, right? We don't want to let her like watch, nearly
All day.
whenever
Yeah.
she wants to. And neither do we want to deprive her of watching, because I'm basically living proof of what happens when you deprive a kid of childhood.
they take it later in the life and they
you
they
go
to
nuts
extreme.
when you get your freedom, right? So what we've done is we decided that okay, we set up a schedule and we'll let her watch a certain amount of time every night. So we made the schedule. Come home, take a shower, take a bath rather. After you bathe, either one of us, Papa or Mama, will on the TV for you. And then sometimes we'll let her watch Cocomelon, sometimes we'll let her watch Paw Patrol. Yeah. But most of the time she will ask for Cocomelon lah.
Yeah.
So we have this like IKEA clock. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a very small clock about this size. It's a square. And when you turn it right, it goes into different modes. Yeah, depending on like which,
Yeah, I know.
where it's
So it
sitting.
turns to timer or alarm
Correct.
or whatever, yeah.
So we set the time. We set it to timer. Then normally we'll set like maybe 12 minutes or 15 minutes. And then at the beginning, I keep like reiterating to her, when the clock beep beep beep, you need to off the TV. So now, after like it's been like I think a month, sometimes when it beeps, right, she'll just take the remote and turn on the TV.
Wow, that's good.
Sometimes,
Self-control.
but most of the
Yeah.
time she'll say, "Last one, last one." One
So
more.
do you let her finish the song?
So what I do is
Finish the song lah.
It's like 200 IQ move. Yeah, I'll beat the 2-year-old. When the show starts, you just check how long the show is. If it's like 18 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll
So
set
you
the
prep it to
timer
the end.
16 minutes. Then when she say last one, I'll be like, okay, last one. When the show ends, you must turn it off. And most of the time, it works.
It ends exactly. Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You give her the last one in terms of like, you let her finish the show. Then she'll turn
Yeah,
it off.
yeah. But it's actually exactly what you wanted in the first place.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been better lah. As opposed to like she melt down because she doesn't get what she
Yeah.
wants. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something else I think we need to do as well. But the funny thing is that Rebecca doesn't really watch like all the Cocomelon. She only likes 4 songs.
Oh, okay.
So she actually, if you exclude Ampaman, she only likes 3 songs. Can you guess the 3 songs? Are they the same? I think they're probably the same. What are her favorites? Or she likes everything from Cocomelon?
She watches everything in Cocomelon. Everything.
Oh, Rebecca only has 3 songs she likes. She likes Wheels on the Bus.
Mm-hmm.
She likes Head Shoulders and Toes.
Yeah. Meredith
And she likes Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Those are the only 3 songs. She's okay, no. She will just go Little Star, Little Star. That's how we know she wants Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when she wants Wheels on the Bus, she will like roll her hands in a rolling motion, because that's what they do. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. I think we need to start doing that eventually for her when she watches it a lot. Jared, what about you? Do you have any? I know it's a bit early, but do you have any like brand new experience that you were like, oh, okay, I remember this.
Every day is brand new. Oh, yeah.
Every day is brand new. Oh, did he get cut off?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah, every day is a new experience. So I don't think there's anything I can share right now, cause
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Don't worry. Whatever you do, remember it. Whatever it happens, like record it. Because they pile up a lot. Like a lot of these new experiences, they pile up. Unless you take a video of it and you remember it, you'll start to forget it. So next time when we have a podcast again with you, we'll ask you again. Okay. So we're nearing to the end. There's a last segment which I kind of want to go through a little bit, which is something that Muff suggested we do, which is recommendations. So this can be anything from games that we've been playing to other things in life. So it could be food recommendations, it could be things. So like obviously for me, I know Japan opening, so I can give food recommendations and you can actually do it. But I'm not gonna be so cruel and do that now. Anyway, nobody comes to Sendai, so I am going to. So we'll just recommend one thing. Just give like a 5 minute rundown of why we recommend it, and then we'll see where we go from there. Marv, do you want to go first, or
Yeah,
you want
sure.
me to go first? Have you thought? Yeah.
I'll go first. I was going to recommend Call of the Lamb, but I mean I did talk about it just now. What I'm going to recommend is an anime. It's an old anime. I think I'm quite sure both of you watched it before.
Don't tell me Evangelion.
No. So it recently got added to Netflix, which is why I went to rewatch it again. I haven't watched it since
Oh,
like it launched like in 20, I don't know 2000 and something. So it's called Claymore. Have you heard of it?
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
It's the guy with the giant sword killing demons.
girl, it's a lady.
Sorry, go. Sorry.
Yeah. So wait, when did the anime come out? Let me check. I know we were still in school, right, Jared?
Yeah, secondary school, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So
quite
it
long.
in 2007. I think we were in
2007.
JC.
Oh, we were JC.
No, we were in army. Right? 7, 8. Yeah, we were correct. We were in NS. Yeah. So it got added to Netflix recently. I think like a month ago, something like that. I went to rewatch it, and it's still good. It still holds up. Like obviously the animation is a bit dated lah. I mean, it's like what 15 years ago.
Yep.
Story is still good, but I would just have to warn you or warn anybody who wants to go and watch it.
Very gory.
It's not that it's gory, but I mean yes it's gory, but the warning is that it ends unresolved. So what happens is that it's the manga that it's based on is a whole lot longer than the than the anime. So I think the manga is like 100 over chapters, whereas the anime only ends at like 50 chapters or something like that, and they don't resolve like the actual show. So they introduce like more villains, right, Jared? Like the
anime
abyss.
ends at the skip, just before the skip.
Yeah. So there's a time skip in the manga, and then there's like they reveal more villains just before the time skip, but then the anime doesn't follow through. So it feels like
And-
it ended at
oh,
season
wow.
1, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like there could have been like 2 more seasons. Yeah. So what happened is that because I went to rewatch it, it led me to go and reread the manga, which I never finished when I was younger. Yeah, and I realized that the manga is really good. So it's a dual recommendation. Both the anime and the manga are worth it lah. I think I'm about halfway through the manga now. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
actually
that's
read finished the manga, so yeah, it's definitely better to finish the manga.
yeah. Oh yeah. So a brief plot summary is that you follow like this girl called Claire, who's a claymore. They're called claymores because they carry around like huge swords. That's what the townspeople call them, and their job is to hunt demons, which are called Yoma in the show. They're normally hired by the town, and then they will come and like clear out the Yoma, because Yoma eat people. They kill people, eat people, and then they will move
like
on.
Witcher.
Yeah, something like Witcher, like a Japanese female Witcher. Yeah, and then the show. The show and the manga gets interesting because claymores are a hybrid of Yomas and
Yoma,
humans.
right? And humans,
So
right? They're
yeah,
half
they
robots.
can draw power from the Yoma that is within them. But if they overdraw, they turn into Yoma themselves. So that's the catch-22 lah, which is what makes the whole like
And the interesting thing is they also explain why they only use females.
yeah. So there's only female claymores. Yeah. So yeah, something worth watching or rewatching or rereading if you haven't.
Yeah. Actually, I was just reading the summary because I think I've watched it before. Maybe I didn't finish it. I just realized that it's very similar to the storylines of Shingeki no Kyojin in so that's Attack on Titan
Mm.
and Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer.
Mm.
Because it's probably like the themes of the story is more similar to Kimetsu no Yaiba, but like in terms of the claymores themselves, it's more similar to the Shingeki no Kyojin, the Attack on Titan. In terms of like, I mean, sorry, is that a spoiler? Can I spoil Attack on Titan? Where he turns into a Titan. That's like in the first four episodes of the show. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks. I will. Maybe I should. How many episodes are there total? 20
It's very
something.
short,
26.
26 I think. Yeah, 20 something.
Okay.
You can definitely blitz it lah.
For me, my recommendation is a book. So, those of you who watch this podcast, you probably already know that I'm a huge fantasy buff. In terms of like, I love to read fantasy, but I'm also like, I love to read progressive fantasy. So, progressive fantasy is what I call gem fantasy. It's like watching it's like watching Naruto but reading. So if you watch like shonen animes, it's all very similar. Like the character kind of like gets some kind of superpower, and the whole series is just about him like overcoming the odds. Actually, he has a very overwhelming power in the first place, but kind of like gains this ability. So Prophecy is about the main gist of the show, is not of the book. It's not really about the world or the law. It's about this main character progressively getting more powerful.
Hold on, you're breaking up.
Progressive. So did you hear any of what I just said?
A bit.
Okay. So I mean just summarize even more. So progressive fantasy focuses on a single main character and how they progressively get stronger. That's the focus of the whole book.
Okay.
So it's not like Lord of the Rings where it's about the whole overarching world. So the book I want to recommend is from a website called the Royal Road. So it's basically a website where people kind of submit, like it's fanfic lah. They write their own stories, but a lot of this fanfic actually gets made into actual books. Like Amazon was or different publishers will sign them. So this one was eventually publicized on. So it has full books on Amazon that you can buy. It's called The Perfect Run, and Marv, you'll appreciate this. So this is kind of similar to like it's like a Marvel universe where everybody kind of gains powers and abilities. But this guy has a very unique ability. He has the ability to quick save. So he can, yeah. So basically, his ability is he has two basic abilities, two basic like functions of his ability. The first is that he can create a save point. So whenever he dies or makes a mistake and dies, he reverts back to that save point.
Cool.
Okay, and then the second part of his ability is he can stop time for 10 seconds.
Okay.
That's his max. So like that's his fighting style. He's not strong. He's not. Although he is. So the whole story kind of follows him, and it's called The Perfect Run because he's trying to create a life where he has the perfect run. I won't spoil the story, but it's a very there's a lot of stuff that comes to play. Obviously, they delve into the whole like how did people get their powers, and there's a lot of huge variation of powers in this show. In this book, sorry, like the two strongest characters in one of them is a living sun, so he has the ability to control gravity because he himself has a sun inside of him, and he control gravity because that's what suns do, right? They control gravity around them.
Yeah.
So the power scale of this book is ridiculous. Like like Marvel at least kind of like tries to obey the laws of nature in a sense. I mean, this guy, the main character, he's literally can stop time and he can quick save and go back. So I think it's a very interesting book. If you guys, I think it's free on Royal Road to read, so you don't even need to pay for anything. Called The
Nice.
Perfect Run.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can try reading that. If you have a Kindle, actually, there's some apps that you can, not apps, but like some extensions on on Chrome that you can kind of like download the whole Royal Road series and then put it in your Kindle.
So it's
So
called,
if you're,
but it's called Perfect Run.
it's called
The
The
show,
Perfect Run.
The Perfect Run.
The book is called The Perfect Run. It's a book. No show, just a book. So I think it's a very interesting book. I finished it already, so now I'm on a new book, but I'll share that next time. Jared, do you have a recommendation? I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you have a recommendation, you can share. Can be
Actually,
anything.
I was gonna recommend Cyberpunk, but I guess
Wow.
you already covered
Oh
it already,
no
right?
no. Since you talk about that, right? Can you say, did you? I mean, obviously, to recommend you enjoyed it. What do you think
Have
about
you
the,
finished it?
the show? Have you finished it?
Cyberpunk, yeah, Edge Runners. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Give us a quick like 5 sentence review or something. Your score first, and then a quick review.
Okay. I would rate it actually a 9 out of 10
Wow,
Okay.
it's high.
because it is spot on in its story placement in the world.
Wait,
Oh,
Right,
did
the
you
world of
did you
play the
play?
game?
Cyberpunk.
Did you play CP?
Yeah, I played.
Yeah, another player who played it.
I would say that what CD Projekt Red did for this launch did not do the story and the world justice.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. I agree. You
So
mean the game, right? You mean the game?
yeah, the
Yeah, I
game
agree.
story, and actually the Cyberpunk setting itself.
Yeah.
Because the story of Cyberpunk 2077 is very in tune with the concept of Cyberpunk, and this anime also fits that concept to the T, right?
Yeah.
So it's about dreamers who dream big and they go all in and they burn out. So that's the whole gist of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And yeah, so both the game and this anime, it fit that concept very well. So they were very spot on. And the good thing about the anime is that they took music from the game and they put it
Oh,
in,
no wonder
and the
it sounds
music
familiar. Okay.
fits very well. The music
Yeah.
that they chose fits the scenes and the themes very well.
Okay.
And also, yeah, they include a lot of things that were in the game into the anime. So if you played the
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
you will
Setting off.
you will really enjoy this
Yeah.
anime. And even if you didn't play, you will enjoy the anime. And the
Yeah.
anime will make you want to play the game again or replay the game again.
This is exactly what. Are you replaying now? I'm replaying it now, by the way.
Yeah, I'll probably jump in and take a look. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So and also there've been a lot of memes like people who play the game before Edge Runners and after Edge Runners, their reactions are totally different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the scenes in the anime are
Yeah.
actually you can find in the game.
Yes. Yeah. Like the junkyard and everything that they fight in and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so all the settings there you can find it in the game. So a lot of people have been going back to revisit and drown their sorrows. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if it's one thing that can be said for Cyberpunk is there are no happy endings.
Yeah. And it's true in the game as well. And the anime. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I basically come out the same thing. I think it's enjoyable on its own. It's more enjoyable if you play the game because you can appreciate it on a different level. Yeah. So
Yeah.
another recommendation for Edge Runners. Yeah. Okay.
Makes me want to
so
get
I
the
think
game, lah.
that
Honestly.
you don't have it. You didn't have it?
No, I don't have it. I know about it. It's on 50% off now, though.
Okay, Jerry, you can jump in. I told Marv already. This is my third playthrough already. I love the game. I think it's a great, especially if you have a good PC. It runs well now, and it's a great. I think it's a good story. It's not the best. I think there's a lot of things it could have done better, but it's not as bad as people painted it out to be. What
So
do you
now
what do you
actually
think?
after the updates, like they are still updating it, trying to improve it even now. So I think what they've done so far is actually put the game in what it should have been at launch actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So actually this anime should, I think it came too late. It should actually have been released earlier, right? So then now the whole hype has gone, but I think now there's a bit of a revival again. But if they had done what Riot did with Arcane, then I think Cyberpunk would probably be in a better spot than the reality that it is now.
I think it's okay though, because what it did was that people stopped playing it, and now it's like huge on the charts now, right? Because it kind of like brought a revival.
Yeah,
of
it's
people
getting people back, right? The people
back to
who
play.
gave
And I
up.
agree. I wish it came out in this state at the start. It should have been in this state from the very beginning. At the same time, like I'm glad that it came to this. It actually is playable now to this point, right? And they also
Yeah.
announced DLC for it. No
Yeah.
expansion, sorry, not DLC.
Yeah, so yeah, it's also good in a way that now is bringing back the hype that now that Cyberpunk is actually playable and in a better spot than it was before.
Yeah, yeah. So, Buff, if you can buy it, it's what 50% is how much? $30?
It's 30. Let me see. Let me open my Steam. Where's my Steam?
It's $59.99, right? Usually, is that the
Yeah,
usual
it's
price?
34.50 now, I think.
Actually, I think it's been cheaper.
It's 34.50. Sorry, 34.50. Yeah.
I would say it's
I
a
think it's been
worthwhile
cheaper.
RPG.
Yeah, but then also, Jared, are you a CD Projekt fan? Do you play Do you play the Witcher series?
I played Witcher.
Yeah, so I'm a huge CD Projekt fan. I played through all the Witchers. But I don't think like Marv has never played through the
Yeah,
whole Witcher
I have Witcher
series,
3,
right?
but I never played like 1 hour. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
1
couldn't stand the
hour.
combat.
You could never get out of my
5 hours.
Orchard.
I have 5 hours of Witcher 3.
5 hours and you still wouldn't have gotten out of White Orchard unless you blitzed it. So anyway,
Yeah,
you're at
well,
50% off is the cheapest. So.
I've been saying he couldn't stand the combat of Witcher. But
Yeah,
then he went to play
yeah.
Which
played Dark Souls
yeah,
or
but
Elden Ring, right?
Elden Ring. Yeah,
you play Elden Ring.
but I didn't finish it,
Yeah.
so lah. I
And
played
neither did
Elden
I,
Ring
and
for
I
the
was so sad.
experience, not to compete.
So
All
if you
right.
don't, the combat will be quite hard to progress. I would say.
That is definitely a weak point of the game. Okay, so yeah, I think we've almost passed we just passed the 2 hour mark
Yeah,
of
we
the
have.
podcast. Thank you for joining us, Jared. Do you have any shout outs or anything you want to say before we close it?
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, actually did. I think this is my first time doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, very
So,
chill one, right? It's just talk.
Yeah, it's good to have you
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, and next time we'll have you on again. We can Kid will be a totally different a story already.
Confirm.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, so we'll share more. Anyway, so for those of you listening, thanks for listening to the Two Gamer Dads podcast. This is episode 21. We'll see you guys next time. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, thanks, Jared.